don't know me, my name is Mykaela. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks on how to create super flawless skin. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to bring you super up close and personal because I feel like you need to be able to see how everything goes on. So this is my skin with nothing on it. To start off, I always apply a lip conditioner. The one that I've been using a lot recently is by Alano Lips. I don't know if you guys can see that. So before I do anything, I like to work with a completely clear and blank canvas. So to do that, I am going to be using MAC's Softening Lotion, and this will just help to strip any excess like oils or makeup from the skin, and it will also break down any dry areas. So if you get dry around the nose, this will just help to smooth everything out and make sure that you're working with a really clean base so that everything goes on super smooth. Can see any excess like dirt or anything like that on your skin. It's quite gross actually. Alright, moving on, I'm going to apply some moisturizer. So I have quite normal skin, doesn't get excessively oily or dry, so I don't need anything that's going to help hydrate or target oil. I actually prefer to use a bit of a strobing moisturizer. So this is by NYX, it's called Away We Glow, and it's a strobing cream. So it's a moisturizer that contains some pearlized pigments, just helps to create a really nice glow on the skin and just sort of almost brighten your face up. For primer today, I'm going to be using the Cover FX, what is this called, mattifying primer, and it also has anti-acne treatment, which is perfect for me right now because I have a couple of little pimples. It's never a good thing. Now obviously depending on your skin type will depend on the skincare that you use underneath your makeup, but I can honestly say how your makeup looks, how your foundation and everything else sits on your skin is going to depend on how well you have prepped your skin. It's honestly in how you prep your skin. I know I sound like a broken record because people say this all the time, but it is definitely worth investing in some really good skincare products. Now you don't necessarily need a primer. Sometimes moisturizers work perfect enough as they are. I know a lot of people don't use primers and don't feel that they need it. So if you don't feel like you need a primer, definitely don't feel like you have to use one. The only reason why I like using a primer, specifically a mattifying primer, is just because I feel like it helps to mattify any texture that I have on my skin and just smooth everything out, fill in any open pores, and that way I feel like my foundation just sits on my skin specifically really smoothly. So for foundation, I have been loving the Huda Beauty Faux Filter. This is one of my favorite foundations at the moment. Amazing coverage, amazing finish, and it lasts all day and all night. My other favorite foundation is the MAC Studio Fix foundations. These ones are also really good. So these are what I prefer for my skin. Both foundations are more of a medium to full coverage and they have more of a natural matte finish. The color that I'm using for my skin is going to be Baklava, I think. Hopefully it's not going to be too dark. So just put that much on my beauty blender. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So you'll see that I haven't applied any of the foundation too close to the eye area. The reason why is because I'm going to be using quite a full coverage concealer there, so I don't want to double up on too much product, and I definitely don't want it to go cakey. So I would always recommend leaving a little bit of a gap between the under eye and where the foundation stops, especially if you're using a foundation that contains SPF. SPF isn't great for the sensitivity of your eye area. So I'm just going to go in with a little concealer brush and a bit of the foundation. Just carve them out. What the hell was that noise? So for concealer, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. This is my favorite concealer. Haven't found one better. Not gonna look. Don't fix what's not broken. So the color that I'm using for my concealer is the light medium. Like to drag a little bit onto the top of my lip and then also onto the chin. Okay, so for nose contour, I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Stick in the shade NC50. These are actually concealers, but they're super lightweight and velvety, and they work amazing as a cream contouring product. To blend this in, I'm going to be using a little concealer brush from, I think this is from Holy Grail Cosmetics. Once I have blended that in a little bit, I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of concealer on a small pencil brush and just highlight in the center. Just a very small amount, and then so now I'm going to contour the rest of my skin using the same product. So I like to contour under my lip, on my cheekbones, and then around the forehead as well. So to blend in my contour, I'm just going to go in with the MAC 170 foundation brush and just buff this in. So to blend in contour, I like to use a very light hand, but quick buffing strokes. So I'm more pressing it and dabbing it into the skin rather than dragging the brush. I feel like that's the best way to keep the product exactly where it is, rather than moving it around on the face. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of illuminator. This is from MAC. They are the Luster Drops in Sunrush. I believe that these were a limited edition shade, but I may be wrong. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder. This is my favorite powder to set the skin with. It is a medium to full coverage powder, so you can actually get a little bit of extra coverage out of it, which I love. So I'm just going to take this big Morphe brush, it's the M439, and just really buff that into my skin. Okay, so now that I've set the rest of my face, I'm going to go ahead and just finish underneath my eyes before we move on to the next step. Okay, so I just finished my under eyes off camera. Now we're going to move on to bronzing and contouring the skin. So I just want to put it into perspective for those that don't know the difference between bronzing and contouring. So bronzing is using a warm tone brown to add colour and warmth back into the skin. When you apply foundation, your skin becomes very one-dimensional and you don't really have any natural colour in it. So bronzing is just going to add that colour and that warmth back into the face, and contouring is going to make areas appear more sculpted, more defined, and take away the focus a little bit. Hence contouring the nose to make it appear thinner, or contouring the forehead to make it appear a little bit smaller, and contouring the cheekbones to make them appear more sculpted and chiseled. So for bronzer today, I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Gold Deposit. So to apply that, I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics brush and just applying it around my cheekbones, around the forehead, and then just dusting it very, very lightly over the nose, but not much at all. Now moving on to contouring, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light. So in this, I think I will use this shade here mixed with a little bit of the last shade. And I'm just using a really small contour brush from MAC. This is the 109. The contour I've added almost at the bottom of the bronzer, so you want to apply it from the tragus part of your ear, and imagine you have a string from the middle of your ear to the corner of your mouth, and that's sort of the general groove that you want to follow, but you want it to sort of fade out where it meets your eyeball. So you want it to fade out sort of about there. And you're almost just creating that shadow underneath the bronzer just to make your cheeks appear super sculpted. Good. Alright, moving along to my favourite part of the face, highlighter. So for highlighter, I have been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amrezy highlighter. It is the perfect gold. I'm a lover of gold highlighters, don't use any other tone. So first I'm going to highlight down the bridge of my nose and the top of my lip. To do that, I'm using a very small pencil brush because I want it to be in quite a small surface area and quite defined. To highlight my cheekbones, I'm going to switch brushes and use this Morphe one. It is the M501. For blush, I'm going to use a MAC blush. This is called Copper Tone. Alright, so I'm going to put the finishing touches on and put a lip on. So one that I've been using all the time is the liquid lipstick from Colourpop in the shade Chi. And then I pop a little bit of the MAC Peach Stock lipstick in the centre. Okay, now I'm just going to spray a little bit more of that spray just to finish everything off. And there you have it, guys. This is the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, I will see you guys later.